of how this affects society, how riba affects society. I'll give you a simple example. It's one of the easiest examples you can think of. Homes, for example. Homes that somebody can't afford a home. So let's say in the 60s, they bought a home for 50,000 pounds. That sounds like an unimaginable number now. It's probably realistic back then in this country. But let's say they bought a home for 60,000, 50,000 pounds, right? But they got it on a mortgage, right? And it's a 30-year mortgage. How much did they end up paying by the end of that mortgage? Probably 150, 200, with all the fees and everything else. So they bought it for 50, but they ended up paying 200. Now it's time for them to sell it. The home is now brand new or 30 years older? 30 years. When a product is older, should it have more value or less value? Is the plumbing, the bricks, the foundation, the roof, the windows, the doors, are they better quality now or are they deteriorated now? They're deteriorated. But the value of the home, if you ended up spending 200, you ain't selling for, oh, I bought it for 50, I'll sell it for 55. No. If I'm going to sell it, at least I'll sell it for 250, 300. That's what you're going to do. So now, what's happening as a result? Home prices within that one mortgage period, home prices went farther up. So the next generation that came, the previous generation could think about buying a home for 50. The next generation can't even think about buying a home until they get to 350. But they also, 250, they take a loan. How many years? 30 years. They end up paying 500, 600. By this time, the home is 60 years old. Less expensive or more expensive? Way more. Now you're selling it for 700, 750. And you walk into this house, you're like, why is anyone paying this kind of money for this pile of garbage? Like these old moldy bricks, this crack, the floor makes sounds. The stairs feel like they're going to cave in any moment, You have unwanted neighbors inside the pipes that you can hear crawling through. And you're paying 10 times, 15 times the price of the original owner who bought it, when it was first made. And so what happens for the next generation? Buying that same property becomes more and more and more impossible. Which means the only people who can buy it is the super rich. And the super rich will buy it, and they'll say, well, I'll give it to you. But I'll give it to you on a mortgage. I'll give it to you on a loan if you qualify. If not, you keep renting from me. I'll keep owning, you keep paying the rent. You keep making me rich, I'll keep the property. And by the way, rent prices will go down or go up. I'll keep going up. We'll keep going. Because this way, what it does is the pound or the dollar or whatever it is going to keep losing value. So what you could buy for £1 50 years ago, you have to pay 15 pounds to buy now. And 10, 15 years from now, you might have to pay 50 pounds to buy the one thing. And the salaries are not increasing at the same rate. The income is not increasing at the same rate. So with riba, what do? You necessarily create a society where the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. And this is not some Islamic observation. If you look at the one social media outlet left where there's some level of free speech, even though it's still very controlled, like TikTok, young people around the world are starting to comment on how the previous generation left them in a hole, and they have to pay the price for it, and this economic crisis is not their doing, and this is oppression, and we need an economic revolution, and anti-bank rhetoric and anti-riba rhetoric is not even coming from Muslims. It's coming now from the next generation, because they're at the bottom, they're at the point where the chokehold is so tight that it's driving people insane. And now they're starting to expose these CEOs and these corporations that are bleeding humanity dry, right?